Hello friends. Today I continue my video series on custom bodies for MetaHuman. In the previous video, I explained how to modify a MetaHuman body using a model with the same topology as in MetaHuman. In that method, you essentially create a blend shape based on the MetaHuman body and import it into Unreal Engine. In this video, I will discuss two other methods for using a body model with different topology and other one when you want to change proportions of the body. So, let's start by creating a body with a different topology. I will again create the model in ZBrush, but you can use any other program, such as Blender or Mudbox. It doesn't matter. In the previous video, I showed how to import your created MetaHuman into Maya and then export the 3D body model to ZBrush. Now I will simply import the body and head into ZBrush for modifications. I import the head first, and now the body. Let's begin by freezing the edges of the model where it connects to the head. For this, we'll use the crease command. This way, if we use the higher level of detail or smooth modified, the seam won't spread. I smooth the model. You could also freeze it with a mask. I didn't do this since this is just a rough test to show the principle, but I advise you to use a mask. Let's proceed. I think I'll create spikes since spikes require more polygons, forcing us to change the model's topology. Use the Move brush to pull out a couple of spikes on the arm. I forgot to enable symmetry, but since we'll be changing the topology, I'll just use the Mirror and Weld command. Thus, the original MetaHuman topology is now altered. Let's also create spikes on the legs. Since we've decided to create a dragon's daughter, we'll stick to one style. And of course, we'll add spikes on the back. They should be definitely prominent. I think it's unnecessary to make just one spike. We can have two in some places. It's quite boring, even for a test. I'll try changing something else in the figure. This is just a fantasy. Since my model has many polygons, I'll use the strong smooth brush to smooth it. Yes, flat surfaces are needed here. It's already some hybrid between a dragon's daughter, a crab, and a robot. Our main goal is to create a model with unique topology. We need to do something with the backside to avoid my video being blocked. will hide all human-like features. We should also change something on the thighs. Let's modify their shape. And add a few flat surfaces. Change the knees as well. We need to do something with the breast too. Let's add some decorative details on the chest and back. Follow the lines of the shape. We'll create some lines on the legs as well. Since there are lines on the legs, we'll add them to the arms. Smooth a few lines. I think this body is sufficiently different from a human's. Now, using the remesh command, we'll create new topology for our custom body. If you want to use your unique body paint, you can also create a new UV map. With the UV map created, we can now paint the body as we like. Let's use green as the main color. This gives us an amphibian girl or a futuristic diving suit. Anyway, add some yellow accents. Now, let's highlight the lines with blue. It turned out quite well for a simple test. A few more accents. And the custom topology body is ready. Now we need to export the body to Maya. I'll create a new folder for this tutorial. So, let's import the body we created into Maya. First, rename the new model in the scene. Remove everything unnecessary from the scene, keeping only what is relevant to our tutorial. As I mentioned earlier, the main skeleton that controls all the MetaHuman bones is the root_dev skeleton. It manages movements and is also the source of corrective bone animations that fix improper deformations. The main idea behind custom bodies is very simple. We need to bind our new body to the correct MetaHuman bones and export it to Unreal Engine. To select the correct bones, Maya already has a selection set called Body Joints. Select all the bones in this set, then our new body model, and use the Bind Skin command. Make sure you select Selected Joints and not Joint Hierarchy. Check our skin. Yes, everything works. You can manually paint skin, but it's easier to copy the skin from the original MetaHuman body to your new custom body. To do this, select the MetaHuman body first, then your body, and in the command menu, find Copy Skin. And click Apply. As you can see, the skin weights have been transferred. If the shape of your new body differs significantly from the MetaHuman body, you might need to make some adjustments using the Paint Skin Weights tool. But for this tutorial, the skin quality is sufficient. Select our body and all skeletons and export the model as an FBX. This body doesn't have blend shapes, so we don't need to focus on that option. Open our MetaHuman scene in Unreal Engine. This is our character. I'll create a new sequence for our tutorial. Place our character in the sequence. Add a camera. And disable depth of field. The rig works. And we can see the corrective bone animations. Create a new folder for our tutorial and import the body. We need to select the MetaHuman base skeleton. Here is our custom body. Now, replace the original MetaHuman body with the new one we created. The rig works, but as expected, the corrective bone animation doesn't work. To make it work, you need to copy the original MetaHuman body and overwrite it with your new body. Let's do this. Find the MetaHuman body. Copy it. Copy the name. Find the file with your body and rename it. For convenience, move the cloned MetaHuman body to our folder. Using the import command and select our body. When asked if we want to overwrite the existing model, click Yes. Select our model again, and the import process begins. Ignore the material for now. It's not important. Nothing works yet, because we are still using the body we imported initially. So, go to the MetaHuman blueprint and select the body with the clone name that we overwrote with our new body. Compile and save. Now our new body with different topology works correctly, and the corrective bone animation is functioning. Since we drew the body texture, let's transfer it to Unreal Engine 2. In ZBrush, go to the UV Map tab and select the size of our new texture. I'll choose 4K. In the Texture Map tab, click New from Polypaint. The color texture is created. Now clone it. In the Texture menu, we need to flip it vertically because ZBrush uses different texture orientation. After this, export the texture to our folder. Now, import the texture into Unreal Engine. Open the body material, add our texture, and link it to the base color of the body material. Save it. As you can see, our new body now has the color we created in ZBrush. Our new body is fully ready for animation. Let's remove the slippers. It's strange for a dragon's daughter to wear slippers. The body looks good, but the head color still doesn't match. The head still has human skin. Let's fix that. Find the head, then its material, and finally its texture. We export the texture. Open it in an image editing program and adjust the head texture color to match the body texture color. Done now. Save the texture and import it into Unreal Engine. It's better to clone the original material. Move it to our folder. don't forget to replace our new material. In the material settings, replace the skin textures with our green texture. This is interesting. No, let's better replace all the textures. Our dragon's daughter is now complete. Of course, you can create a much more detailed body and transfer all the details as a normal map to the new MetaHuman body. The possibilities are endless for your imagination. But I've explained the basic principle of transferring a body with different topology. I save everything. Let's now create a custom body with skeleton proportions different from the standard MetaHuman skeleton. For example, you might want your character to be taller or shorter, to have much broader shoulders, longer legs, and so on. We'll start, as always, by creating a 3D model of the new body in ZBrush. I won't sculpt the body from scratch. I'll change the proportions of the body we already have. Let's widen the hips. To use this model, we will need to adjust the skeleton. Let's also change the leg pose angle. Create a disproportion in the legs and lengthen the lower part of the legs. Let's also change the arm angle. Rotate the forearms. Let's lengthen the forearms too. Now we have a cute crab-like creature. Let's export this body to Maya. Open this model in Maya. As you can see, the skeleton does not match the model we created. As I mentioned earlier, the main skeleton that controls all secondary skeletons in MetaHuman is root_rv. We will be modifying it. I'll start with the arms. Rotate the arm bones to the desired angle. Now the forearms. Lengthen the forearms too. To maintain symmetry, I'll simply mirror the values. But for a quicker transfer of transformations to the opposite side of the skeleton, you can use a script. It's important not to disrupt the rotation axis of the previous bone before manually moving the bone. Therefore, it's better to use the rotation tool instead of the move tool. Now, let's work on the pelvis and legs. Adjust the angle and fit the joints to our model. Let's modify the foot bones by moving them down and lengthening the legs. Of course, with manual adjustments, the rotation axis may be slightly off, but for minor changes, this won't affect the animation significantly. Transfer the values to the mirrored foot bones. We can also adjust the position of the correction bones to ensure proper shape changes during corrective animation. However, make sure to adjust the parent joint, not the child joint. In the skeleton tree, it's easy to see which bone is attached to which. Select the correct bones and fit them to the body shape. Adjust the correction bones around the pelvis. Now I mirror the changes. For our test, this should be sufficient. Now, we need to bind our model to the bones. Perform the same steps as earlier with the model from the previous video section. Select all bones in the body joint selection set. Then our new body model. Then, in the rigging menu, Skin, choose Bind Skin. Set the bind method to selected joints and click Apply and Close. Our skin works. Now, transfer the skin from the original MetaHuman model to our model. To do this, select the MetaHuman body first, then your body, and in the command menu, find Copy Skin and click Copy. Verify that everything works correctly. Legs, hips, arms. Next, export our body to Unreal Engine. I rename the model of our new body. Now select the body model and all skeletons and export everything as FBX format. We need to override the body with the correct name, which is already linked to our MetaHuman. Save the scene in Maya. Now, all we need to do is go to Unreal Engine and re-import the body model linked to our MetaHuman. For the reason why, refer to the first part of this video. Click Re-import. Confirm the material and click Done. Our new body with modified proportions is now linked to MetaHuman and its controller system. We've got a crab-like girl. Check the rig and the corrective bone animation. As you can see, all controllers are in place. And the corrective bone animation works as well. For reassurance, we can also look at the bone's behavior. Yes, Everything works as it should. I've shared how to change the MetaHuman body for 3 different scenarios. When you need to modify only the blend shape, when you need to change the topology, and when you want to adjust the body's proportions. I wish you all success in your creative endeavors. Like the video if you enjoyed the tutorial. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next new videos.